Peace be upon you, faithful servant of the imperium. I am Scrivener Prefect Julian Mensk of the Adeptus Administratum, Estate Imperium, 3rd Subsector Archives Division, and I have been granted the honor of guiding you through this hour of rest. You have served the Emperor faithfully today. Your duties are complete. The data slates have been filed. The reports have been submitted. The day's labor has reached its natural conclusion. Now there is only rest, only peace, only the quiet embrace of sleep under the ever-watchful gaze of the God Emperor of mankind. Let us begin with a prayer, a meditative prayer. Close your eyes now, if you have not already. Allow the lids to grow heavy. There is no need to force them. Simply let them fall naturally as the Emperor's light washes over you. Good, very good. Now, breathe with me. Slowly, draw in air through your nose, counting silently to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath just for a moment, and now release it slowly through your mouth. Let it flow out like a gentle tide. Let it carry with it the tension of the day. Again, breathe in slowly and deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4. The air is clean. It is pure. You are safe. You are protected. Hold that breath and now release. Let it all go. You have done your duty. You have served faithfully. Now there is only rest. Continue to breathe slowly and steadily as we turn our attention to the body that has carried you through this day. Begin with your face, your forehead. The muscles may be tense from concentration, but now you may release them. Feel the skin of your forehead smooth out, becoming soft and peaceful. Your eyelids are heavy, so heavy, resting gently over your eyes. Your cheeks soften. Your jaw, which may have been clenched, unclenches now. Let it hang loose and relaxed. Your entire face is at peace. Move now to your neck and shoulders. These faithful servants carry great weight, but now, in this moment, they may lay down that weight. Feel your neck lengthen slightly, releasing any tightness. Your shoulders drop down, away from your ears. They sink downward. The muscles of your shoulders spread and soften. You are safe. You may lay down your burdens before the golden throne. Your arms now grow heavy and relaxed. They sink into whatever surface supports you. Your forearms become loose and limp. Your wrists soften, and your hands, those instruments of service, now rest completely. Your fingers uncurl naturally. Each finger relaxes from the base to the very tip. You need grip nothing. You need hold nothing. There is only release. Your chest, your lungs continue their steady work, breathing in, breathing out, without effort. Your heart beats faithfully. Honor these organs by allowing the muscles around them to relax. Feel your chest expand with each inhalation not with tension, but with ease. The entire chest cavity becomes a peaceful chamber, rhythmic and calm. Your stomach and abdomen now release their tension. Breathe into your belly. Allow it to rise and fall naturally. Your lower back, which has supported you all day, now presses gently into whatever surface is beneath you. You need do nothing. The Emperor provides. You are held. Your hips and legs now receive the blessing of release. Your hips relax. Your thighs grow heavy and sink downward. Your knees release. Your calves soften. And your feet, which have carried you through this entire day, now rest completely. Your ankles are loose. Your feet relax. Each toe releases. Your entire body, from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes, is now at peace. You lie here completely relaxed, completely safe, under the eternal protection of the God Emperor. His light shines from the golden throne across the vast darkness of space, reaching even here to you. You are known to him. You are seen. You are valued. Your service matters. And now, he grants you permission to rest. Let your mind drift now. Let it become like a small ship floating on a calm, dark sea. There are no storms here, only gentle motion, the slow rise and fall of peaceful waters. Above you, the stars shine steady and clear. The Astronomicon pulses softly in the distance, that great psychic lighthouse. But you need not navigate now. You simply float, peaceful and safe, held by the waters, watched over by the light. The day's battles are over. Whether they were battles of arms or battles with mountains of paperwork, they are complete. You have fought, you have endured, you have served. And now, the Emperor whispers to your soul, rest, faithful servant. Rest and be renewed. Tomorrow will bring new duties. But tonight, there is only peace, only the soft embrace of sleep, only the quiet darkness where souls restore themselves. You are so very tired. You have earned this rest. Let yourself sink deeper now, deeper into relaxation, deeper into peace. With each breath, you sink a little further. The weight of consciousness becomes too heavy to hold, and you need not hold it. Let it go. Let yourself drift. Let the Emperor's light carry you into sleep. Rest now. Rest, faithful servant. Rest and know that you are protected. The angels stand watch. The imperium endures, and you are safe. And now, as you drift in this peaceful state, as your body rests and your mind softens, allow me to share with you some knowledge from the archives, some records that I have spent many years compiling. You need not focus intently on these words. Let them simply wash over you like a gentle stream. If you find yourself drifting into sleep during this recounting, that is exactly as it should be. In the sealed archives of the Adeptus Administratum, in vaults buried deep beneath layers of security and silence, there exist certain records, certain files, certain references to a chapter of the Adeptus Astartes that appears only rarely in official documentation. These records speak of warriors called the Grey Knights. The Grey Knights chapter, defenders against a specific threat. I have spent decades organizing these scattered references, and what has emerged is a portrait of dedication, of purity, of absolute incorruptibility in service to the Emperor. The Grey Knights are secret. This is perhaps the first and most important thing that the records establish. They are secret in a way that other chapters are not. While all of the Emperor's Space Marines are rightfully celebrated, the Grey Knights operate in a shadow deeper than most. Their very existence is classified at the highest levels of the Inquisition. The records I have accessed indicate that the Grey Knight's presence is deliberately obscured from general imperial knowledge. They fight battles that must never be spoken of. They face enemies whose very names are dangerous. And when their work is complete, they often take steps to ensure that even the memory of their involvement is erased from those who witnessed it. I find this secrecy fascinating in the way that a clerk finds all patterns fascinating. Across countless data slates, across centuries of archived reports, the same careful omissions appear. A battle will be recorded, a demon incursion will be noted, and then there will be a gap, a space where information should be. And sometimes, if one has access to the correct restricted files, one finds a small notation. Grey Knight's deployment. Witnesses mind cleansed. Records sealed. The consistency of these patterns speaks to a systematic approach maintained across vast stretches of time and space. They are secret because the enemies they face are secret. The records make this clear, although never in explicit terms. The Grey Knights are specialists. They are demon hunters, demon slayers. They are the chamber militant of the ordo malleus, the branch of the Inquisition dedicated to combating the demonic threat. When a tear in reality allows the warp's denizens to spill into the materium, when chaos in its most literal form manifests, the Grey Knights are called. Let yourself relax even further as I speak these words. There is no danger here, only the quiet recounting of information from old records. The demons I speak of are distant things, abstractions in data files, threats that the Grey Knights contain. You are safe. You are far from such horrors. And the Grey Knights stand between humanity and that darkness, always vigilant. The origins of the Grey Knights are, like much about them, shrouded in restricted documentation. However, certain records exist that date back to the Horus heresy itself, that terrible civil war that nearly destroyed the Imperium in its infancy. In those dark days, when half the legions turned traitor, the Emperor foresaw a need. He foresaw that the demonic threat would not end with the heresy, and so provisions were made. The records suggest, and here I must note that these are among the most restricted files I have ever encountered, that the Emperor himself commanded the founding of this chapter. He commanded it, and he entrusted its establishment to his most loyal servant, Malcador the sigillite. Malcador, whose wisdom was second only to the Emperor's own, who served as the first imperial regent, took upon himself this great task. The documentation indicates he was charged with this mission immediately after news reached Terra of the War Master Horus's betrayal. He gathered loyal individuals, space marines of great power and absolute purity, and laid the foundations for what would become the Grey Knights. The documentation is fragmentary. Much was lost in the chaos of the heresy, but the pattern that emerges is one of careful selection, of rigorous testing. Malcador found 12 worthy individuals, the records note. 4 were lords and administrators who would go on to help establish the Inquisition. 8 were space marines, drawn from both loyalist and traitor legions, though they themselves had remained loyal. These included survivors from the Eisenstein, such as Nathaniel Garrow. Others who joined this cause included names that appear in restricted files: Tylos Rubio, Mesa Varon, Janus, and Garviel Loken. The 8 space marines who would become the founding members of the Grey Knights were known by names from ancient Terran mythology, which Malcador called them the Titans. Their original identities were made secret, but they are remembered as Janus, Epimetheus, Chiron, Koios, Ogun, Iapto, Jotun, and Satre. Once gathered, the Emperor surveyed these chosen few and granted his approval to proceed. These space marines, along with Malcador, traveled to Saturn's moon, Titan, and here is where the records become truly fascinating. Through Malcador's mystical means, Titan was hidden away from the ravages of the heresy. The records suggest it was sent into the warp itself, wrapped in a protective bubble of reality, to ride out the final battle for the Imperium. When Malcador and the 8 arrived, they found a fortress monastery already fully prepared. Everything necessary to create a new force of space marines was there: gene seed, armaments, servitors maintaining the fortress, and hundreds of thousands of carefully selected recruits gathered from across the Imperium. Malcador could not remain. He had to return to Terra for his final duty, which would cost him his life supporting the Emperor. Thus, he appointed Janus, one of the 8 original Space Marines, to lead this new chapter with the title of Supreme Grand Master. Time passed differently for Titan in the warp. When it eventually returned to real space, the second founding was taking place. While mere months had passed in the galaxy, years had passed on Titan. It emerged not with 8 space marines and raw recruits, but with a full chapter of 1,000 fully trained battle brothers. The newly formed Inquisition, under the control of the same lords Malcador had selected, secretly added the Grey Knights to the records of the Adeptus Terra as the 666th chapter of Space Marines. Lost in the anarchy of the second founding, few noticed the addition of another chapter. Only the Inquisition knew the Grey Knight's true purpose. I find it soothing, somehow, to contemplate this ancient history. These events occurred 10,000 years ago, yet the records preserve them. Time compresses in the archives. The Grey Knights emerged already mature in their purpose, already dedicated to their secret mission. Their home is Titan. This is noted in the records consistently. Titan is one of Saturn's moons. In the Sol system itself, humanity's birthplace. The symbolism is potent, is it not? The Grey Knights maintain their fortress monastery in the very heart of the Imperium, close to Terra itself. Yet despite this proximity, Titan is among the most secret locations in the entire Imperium. The records describe how Titan was transported into the warp during the heresy and returned changed, sanctified, prepared to serve as the ultimate fortress against demonic incursion. The Grey Knight's fortress monastery covers vast portions of Titan's surface. It contains training grounds where aspirants are transformed into knights. It contains libraries of forbidden lore. It contains forges where the chapter's weapons and armor are crafted. It contains chapels and meditation chambers where the knights maintain the purity of their souls through prayer and ritual. I have never seen Titan, but I have read the requisition forms. They are wonderfully detailed. A request for sacred oils shipped to Titan. A manifest of adamantium ingots delivered to the forges. A transfer of psychically active crystals from Mars to Titan's vaults. Each small piece of documentation adds a fragment to the overall picture. Let your breathing remain slow and steady as I continue. You may feel your mind beginning to wander, to drift. This is natural. This is good. Let my voice simply be a gentle sound in the darkness. The recruitment of Grey Knights is itself a matter of great secrecy. Unlike other chapters who recruit from specific worlds, the Grey Knights draw their aspirants from across the entire Imperium. They seek specific criteria. The records indicate they require not just physical capability, but more importantly, psychic potential. Every single Grey Knight is a psyker. Everyone possesses the ability to touch the warp, to channel its energies. This is essential to their mission, for only psychic power can truly combat demonic manifestation. But not just any psyker will do. The records emphasize this repeatedly. The Grey Knights require psykers of exceptional purity. Individuals whose souls are strong, whose faith is unshakable, whose resistance to corruption is absolute. The Imperium produces countless psykers. Most are gathered by the black ships and tithed to Terra. But a tiny fraction, the rarest of the rare, are identified as potential Grey Knight aspirants. The selection process is exhaustive. It is documented in files that span hundreds of pages, detailing psychological evaluations, genetic testing, psychic assessments, and spiritual examinations. An aspirant must demonstrate not only power, but control. Not only strength, but wisdom. Not only courage, but humility. Such individuals are extraordinarily rare. Across the entire imperium, only a handful emerge each year who meet the Grey Knight's standards. Those who are selected are brought to Titan, and there they undergo transformation. The process is similar to the creation of any space marine, but the Grey Knights add additional layers. They inscribe protective wards directly onto the bones of their aspirants. They subject the initiates to rituals of purification that would destroy lesser souls. The records speak of trials that push each aspirant to the absolute limits of their endurance. Many do not survive. Those who do emerge as something more than human, more than even a typical space marine. They emerge as Grey Knights. I have filed the casualty reports. Approximately 9 in 10 aspirants fail to complete the transformation. The Grey Knights accept this ratio. They will not compromise their standards. The stakes are too high. Better that 90% perish in training than that one tainted warrior carry the chapter's authority into battle against the demonic. During their training, each recruit is designated by a number. Only upon completion are they given a new name. They must discard their original birth name. This signifies being reborn, but it also reflects how the training is so intense they are unlikely to remember their past. Furthermore, each Grey Knight's name is actually a fragment of law that acts in opposition to the true name of a particular demon, making even a Grey Knight's name a weapon. Acid etched into their left gauntlet and tattooed upon the flesh beneath is the sigil of Malcador the sigillite, honoring their founder. Those who succeed become part of one of the Grey Knights' brotherhoods. The chapter is organized differently than other chapters. While most chapters divide into 10 companies, the Grey Knights maintain 8 brotherhoods, plus specialized formations. Each brotherhood is a self-contained fighting force, typically numbering around 100 knights, commanded by a brother captain. The records list these brotherhoods, though the names sometimes change over centuries. Each brotherhood has its own heraldry, its own traditions, its own battle honors. I have cross-referenced these honors with restricted files, attempting to construct a fuller picture of the Grey Knights' campaigns. It is difficult work. So much is redacted. So many operations have no official record beyond demonic incursion. Grey Knights deployed, threat neutralized. But even these sparse notations, accumulated over centuries, reveal a pattern of constant vigilance. The higher ranks represent the apex of the Order's skill and purity. Beyond the regular battle brothers and the justicars who lead their squads, there are the paladins. These are veterans of exceptional prowess, knights who have fought for centuries. The records indicate that paladins are inducted only after demonstrating their absolute incorruptibility through a ritual known as the ceremony of the 12 trials. What these trials entail is not documented in any file I have accessed, suggesting tests that would break lesser beings. Above even the paladins stand the Brotherhood champions, master swordsmen, the Brotherhood ancients, who carry the sacred standards, the Brotherhood librarians, who are psychers among psychers, their powers magnified beyond their brothers' considerable abilities, and at the apex, the Grand Masters. There are 8 Grand Masters, 1 for each Brotherhood. These are individuals who have served for centuries, some for millennia, who have commanded countless battles. The Supreme Grand Master leads even these exalted individuals. This is a position of ultimate authority within the chapter. The current Supreme Grand Master, according to recent reports, is Caldor Drygo, a figure whose deeds fill volumes in the restricted archives. Let your mind drift as I speak these names and titles. They are like a litany. The Grey Knights maintain their structure with the same rigor they maintain their purity. Everything in its place. Every knight knowing his role. Every battle conducted according to ancient protocols. There is comfort in such order. The relationship between the Grey Knights and the ordo malleus is central to understanding both organizations. The records make clear that the Grey Knights serve as the chamber militant of the ordo malleus, meaning they are the Inquisition's dedicated military arm for demonic threats. When an inquisitor of the ordo malleus identifies a demonic incursion, they may request Grey Knight's assistance. The chapter responds with absolute priority. This relationship is documented in thousands upon thousands of joint operation reports. The pattern that emerges is one of close cooperation. The Inquisitors provide intelligence. They identify threats. The Grey Knights provide the martial excellence. They conduct the actual combat operations. They face the demons directly and banish them. There is mutual respect documented in the correspondence between Inquisitors and Grey Knights commanders. Both recognize they serve the same purpose, protecting humanity from the demonic threat. Both understand the necessity of secrecy. Both accept the burden of knowing terrible truths that must be kept from the wider imperium. An ordinary citizen cannot be allowed to know that demons are real, that the warp contains conscious malevolent entities. Such knowledge breeds despair, and despair breeds vulnerability. Better that people believe the Grey Knights are myth than understand the true scope of the demonic threat. The Grey Knights' war gear is crafted with the same attention to purity that characterizes everything about the chapter. The records contain requisition forms, technical specifications, and blessing rituals for their equipment. Their armor is known as Aegis armor. It is similar to Terminator armor worn by elite warriors of other chapters, but with significant modifications. Aegis armor is inscribed with thousands of protective wards, hexagrammic sigils and prayers, each one carefully placed to offer protection against the reality-warping powers of demons. The armor is forged on Titan itself, in forges tended by tech priests who have undergone purification and sworn oaths of secrecy. Every component undergoes ritual purification. The records detail the creation process with surprising specificity. I find it soothing to read these technical documents late at night. There is something peaceful about the methodical nature of craftsmanship. Each suit of Aegis armor takes months to complete. The artificers work in prayer as much as physical labor. They chant litanies while shaping the armor plates. They inscribe each ward with meditative focus. The result is armor that offers not just physical protection, but spiritual protection. Armor that can resist the corrupting whispers of the warp itself. The weapons wielded by Grey Knights are equally specialized. While they carry storm bolters, their true weapons are their nemesis force weapons. These are power weapons wreathed in energy fields, but they are more. They are psychically attuned. A Grey Knight channels his own psychic power through a nemesis weapon, magnifying its effectiveness against demonic entities. The records list many types. The nemesis force sword, elegant and deadly. The nemesis demon hammer, brutal but devastating. The nemesis force halberd, offering reach. The nemesis falchion, paired blades for close combat. Each weapon is crafted by master artificers on Titan. Each is blessed, and each is psychically bonded to its wielder. A Grey Knight carries his nemesis weapon throughout his service, and when he falls, the weapon is returned to Titan to be purified and granted to another. I have read reports of these weapons in action, or rather, carefully sanitized versions that make it into the archives. The effectiveness is documented consistently. The Grey Knights do not fail often. Their purity, their armor training, their equipment all combine to make them the most effective demon hunters in the Imperium. Beyond armor and weapons, the Grey Knights employ other specialized equipment. They use teleportation technology more extensively than most chapters, materializing directly into combat zones. The records note the logistical requirements for such operations. They also make use of specialized vehicles. Land raiders blessed and warded for Grey Knight service. Dread Knights, personal combat walkers that allow a single knight to bring tremendous firepower. Storm Ravens providing air support. Each vehicle is sanctified, inscribed with protective wards. Let your breathing remain deep and slow. If you feel yourself drifting toward sleep, do not resist. The methods by which Grey Knights combat demons are as much spiritual as physical. The records emphasize this repeatedly. A demon is not a physical entity in the conventional sense. It is a manifestation of warp energy. Physical weapons alone cannot truly harm it. To truly banish a demon requires psychic power channeled through unshakable faith and purity of purpose. Every Grey Knight is trained in specific psychic disciplines designed for demonic combat. They learn to create zones of calm within the warp. They learn to project their faith outward as a tangible force. They learn rituals of banishment, ancient formulas that strike at the fundamental essence of demonic beings. These rituals are recorded in the chapter's most sacred texts, refined across 10,000 years. The training never ends. Even veteran knights continue to study, to practice, to refine their abilities. The records contain schedules for training regimens, noting daily meditation sessions, weekly combat drills, monthly trials of psychic endurance. The Grey Knights understand that complacency is the first step toward corruption. They remain vigilant in every moment of their existence. They police their own thoughts, monitoring for any sign of taint. This constant self-examination is documented in personal logs that knights maintain, journals reviewed by the chapter's prognosticars, specialist psychers who can detect subtle signs of corruption. If a knight shows even the slightest indication of taint, he is immediately removed and subjected to intensive purification rituals. The records show such cases are extraordinarily rare, but when they occur, the chapter responds with absolute thoroughness. The chapter's librarians play a crucial role in this vigilance. They are powerful psychers who specialize in divination and detection, constantly scanning for threats. They maintain the fortress monastery's psychic defenses, weaving protective wards through the imperium that surround Titan. They also preserve the chapter's accumulated knowledge, maintaining libraries that contain everything learned about demonic entities across 10 millennia. These libraries are fascinating from an archival perspective. I have never accessed them directly, but I have reviewed requests for materials to be added and shipping manifests for texts being transferred to Titan. The Grey Knights collect every scrap of information about demons, about chaos. They study their enemies with scholarly dedication. They maintain taxonomies of demon types. They record the true names of demon princes, for a demon's true name is a weapon against it. They document the rites and rituals that summon demons, not to perform such summonings, but to recognize and prevent them. This knowledge is dangerous. The records make this clear in stark language. Simply knowing certain things about chaos can make one vulnerable to it. The human mind is not designed to contemplate the nature of the warp. To study demons is to risk corruption by the very knowledge one seeks. This is why such study is restricted to the Grey Knights, who possess the purity and discipline to handle such information safely. The Grey Knights accept this burden of terrible knowledge. They bear it so others need not. They gaze into the abyss so that ordinary citizens can sleep peacefully. It is a lonely burden. The records convey this in subtle ways. A Grey Knight cannot speak of his battles to others outside the chapter. He cannot share the truths he has learned. His brothers in the chapter understand, but even among themselves, certain topics are approached with caution. Continue to breathe slowly, in and out. My words wash over you like a tide, requiring no effort to hear. The Grey Knight's notable campaigns are, by necessity, largely absent from general imperial records. The battles they fight cannot be celebrated publicly. When they save a world from demonic incursion, that world's population is often mind-cleansed, left with only vague memories. The Grey Knights prefer it this way. They do not seek glory. They seek only to fulfill their duty. However, in the restricted archives, certain campaigns are documented. I have spent years piecing together these fragmentary accounts. Let me share some, in abstract and gentle terms, befitting this hour of rest. There are records from the early centuries of the chapter's existence shortly after the heresy, when the Imperium was still rebuilding. The Grey Knights fought on countless worlds during this period, banishing the demonic entities the heresy had allowed to manifest. These early campaigns established the chapter's reputation among those few who knew of their existence. The records note their perfect record of incorruptibility. There are references to campaigns where vast demonic incursions threatened to tear reality apart. The Grey Knights deployed in force, and through weeks of intensive combat and ritual, they sealed breaches and banished demons. The civilian casualties were often enormous, but the worlds themselves were saved from being completely consumed. There are accounts of battles fought aboard space hulks, those vast conglomerations of wrecked ships that drift through the warp. Space hulks are notorious for harboring demonic entities. The Grey Knights regularly board them to cleanse them before they can threaten inhabited systems. These are operations conducted in dark corridors of dead ships, in environments where the boundary between real space and the warp is thin. The Grey Knights excel in such conditions. The records speak of a conflict known in very restricted files as the First War for Armageddon, though most Imperial citizens know nothing of this event. In 444 M41, a demonic incursion of massive scale occurred on Armageddon. The forces of chaos, led by the demon Primarch Angron and his World Eaters, descended upon the world. The Space Wolves, under Great Wolf Logan Grimnar, fought valiantly to defend the planet. The Grey Knights responded when the nature of the enemy was revealed. 109 Grey Knights Terminators attacked Angron directly, along with his bodyguard of 12 bloodthirsters, by teleporting into the center of the demon army. Initially, Angron decimated the Grey Knights, wiping out 5 Terminators with a single stroke of his black blade. However, thanks to the psychic might of a young recruit named Hyperion, the black blade was shattered and the Grey Knights gained advantage. Brother Captain Taramar Aurelian was killed while personally banishing Angron back to the warp for 100 years and a day. The loss of their leader, coupled with the Space Wolves' counter-offensive, led to complete rout of the Chaos forces. Only 13 Grey Knights survived that battle. However, the aftermath required difficult decisions. The surviving population of Armageddon had witnessed demons. The Inquisition, along with the Grey Knights, determined that the civilian survivors would be sterilized and placed in work camps, while the Imperial Guard regiments would be destroyed in their transports. Logan Grimnar objected strongly to this purge, having fought alongside these defenders. He structured the planet's defense to minimize civilian exposure, but the Inquisition proceeded anyway. What followed has a name in the restricted files: the Months of Shame. The Grey Knights themselves provided this moniker, viewing the events with regret. The Inquisition, led by Lord Inquisitor Kisneros, began destroying transport ships carrying Imperial Guard survivors. The Space Wolves intervened, placing their vessels in the line of fire, but refusing to return fire, not wanting to be declared renegade. The Inquisition then pursued a wider purge, carrying out exterminatus on several worlds that had contact with Armageddon survivors. The conflict escalated. The Grey Knight's Grand Master Joros was killed by Logan Grimnar during these hostilities. Eventually, when an inquisitorial fleet came to Fenris, demanding the Space Wolves submit to a penitent crusade, it was the ancient dreadnought Bjorn the Fell-Handed who negotiated peace between both sides. The Grey Knights suffered serious casualties during this conflict, with several starships lost and a Brotherhood strength contingent of irreplaceable Astartes killed. Many within the Grey Knights were frustrated over being used outside their mission parameters. In the aftermath, the Space Wolves and Grey Knights view each other with animosity, and Grimnar has never forgiven what happened. This illustrates the difficult burden the Grey Knights carry, the choices they must make, even when those choices offend their fellow warriors. There are numerous records of small-scale operations. A cult that has summoned a demon, a corrupted psyker who has become a doorway for warp entities, a chaos artifact radiating corruption. The Grey Knights respond to these threats with the same dedication they bring to major campaigns. No demonic incursion is too small to merit their attention. The patterns in these records, accumulated across millennia, reveal the scope of the demonic threat. It is constant. It is everywhere. The warp is always pressing against reality, seeking weaknesses, and always the Grey Knights respond. They cannot be everywhere at once, but they prioritize threats, deploying where they will have the greatest impact, and they have never faltered in this duty. I find a strange peace in these records, despite their grim subject matter. Perhaps it is the consistency of service they demonstrate. The Grey Knights have fought for 10,000 years without a single recorded instance of corruption among their battle brothers. 10,000 years. Countless knights have served and died in that span, yet not one has fallen to chaos. This perfect record stands in stark contrast to other chapters, some of which have seen entire companies turn traitor. The Grey Knight's purity is absolute. Let your mind drift now through these ancient battles, these distant conflicts. They are like stars in the night sky, distant points of light. You observe them from afar, safe and peaceful. The Grey Knights fight so that you may rest. They stand watch while you sleep. This is their purpose. This is their gift to humanity. The burden of secrecy extends beyond simply not speaking of battles. The Grey Knights employ protocols for managing witnesses to demonic incursions. When ordinary imperial citizens witness demons, the experience often destroys them psychologically. The human mind rebels against such impossible visions. Some go mad. Others are changed, corrupted. It is argued in the files that it is a mercy to remove these memories. The mind-cleansing process is conducted by specialists, often inquisitors trained in psychic techniques, sometimes with assistance from the Grey Knight's own psychers. The procedure is delicate. Too much cleansing and the individual becomes a blank slate. Too little and they retain fragments that can fester. The ideal outcome is that the witness remembers a threat occurring and being resolved, but has no specific memory of demonic involvement. Sometimes, when the demonic incursion has been too widespread, more extreme measures are taken. The records document these occasions with bureaucratic precision. Entire populations mind cleansed, entire regiments subjected to memory erasure. In the most extreme cases, exterminatus authorized. These are terrible necessities. The Grey Knights do not make these decisions lightly, but the mathematics are brutal and clear. Better that millions die than that billions fall to corruption. The records contain the after-action reports, the justifications. They do not make for comforting reading, but they demonstrate the impossible choices that must be made in humanity's defense. The Grey Knights themselves are not immune to the isolation that secrecy demands. Even among other Space Marine chapters, the Grey Knights remain apart. Other chapters often do not know they exist or know of them only as rumor. Those who have fought alongside the Grey Knights are typically mind-cleansed afterward. There have been exceptions, as with the Space Wolves, where chapters proved resistant to such measures. But these are rare. This isolation is perhaps the greatest sacrifice the Grey Knights make. Space Marines in other chapters can be celebrated by the populations they save. The Grey Knights have none of this. They save worlds that will never know they were saved. They banish threats the population will never remember existed. They are humanity's most effective defenders against its most terrible enemy, yet they must remain forever in shadow. The records occasionally contain personal logs from Grey Knights, heavily redacted but even fragments convey a sense of this burden. "We are the Emperor's sword in the darkness," one knight wrote, "and we must be content to cut where we are directed." Another wrote, "The hardest battle is not against the demons, but against the loneliness of knowledge." Your breathing has perhaps slowed even further. Your consciousness drifts between sleep and waking. Continue to rest. Continue to let my words be simply a soft sound in the night. The Grey Knights maintain relationships with certain elements of the Imperium beyond the ordo malleus. They work with the Adeptus Mechanicus, particularly the Forge Worlds that supply their war gear. The tech priests who serve the Grey Knights are specially selected in subtle ways. A Grey Knight cannot speak of his battles to others outside the chapter. He cannot share the truths he has learned. He cannot seek comfort or understanding from those who have not faced what he has faced. His brothers in the chapter understand, of course, but even among themselves, certain topics are approached with caution. Certain names are never spoken aloud outside of ritual contexts. Continue to breathe slowly, in and out, rise and fall like gentle waves upon a peaceful shore. Your body is completely relaxed now, supported and comfortable. My words wash over you like that tide, requiring no effort to hear, no concentration to understand. Simply let them flow. The Grey Knights' notable campaigns are, by necessity, largely absent from general imperial records. The battles they fight cannot be celebrated publicly. The victories they achieve cannot be commemorated with monuments or holidays. When they save a world from demonic incursion, that world's population is often mind-cleansed of the event, left with only vague memories of a threat that was somehow resolved. The Grey Knights prefer it this way. They do not seek glory. They seek only to fulfill their duty. However, in the restricted archives, certain campaigns are documented. I have spent years piecing together these fragmentary accounts, cross-referencing dates and locations, building a picture of the Grey Knights' 10,000-year war against chaos. Let me share some of these with you, in the abstract and gentle terms befitting this hour of rest. There are records from the early centuries of the chapter's existence, shortly after the Horus Heresy, when the Imperium was still rebuilding and the forces of chaos were still ascendant. The Grey Knights fought on countless worlds during this period, often alone or in small forces, banishing the demonic entities that the heresy had allowed to manifest. These early campaigns established the chapter's reputation among those few who knew of their existence. The records note their perfect record of incorruptibility, even in the darkest days when chaos seemed unstoppable. There are references to a campaign on a world whose name has been redacted from most documents, where a vast demonic incursion threatened to tear reality itself apart. The Grey Knights deployed in force, multiple brotherhoods, converging on the world. And through weeks of intensive combat and ritual, they sealed the breach and banished the demons back into the warp. The civilian casualties were enormous. The records note, with somber precision, nearly the entire population perished, but the world itself was saved from being completely consumed by chaos, and that was considered a victory. There are accounts of battles fought aboard space hulks, those vast conglomerations of wrecked ships that drift through the warp and occasionally emerge into real space. Space hulks are notorious for harboring demonic entities, and the Grey Knights regularly board them to cleanse them before they can threaten inhabited systems. These are operations conducted in the dark corridors of dead ships, in zero gravity, in environments where the boundary between real space and the warp is thin and uncertain. The Grey Knights excel in such conditions, their training and purity allowing them to function where others would succumb to madness. The records speak of a conflict known in very restricted files as the First War for Armageddon, though I note that most Imperial citizens know nothing of this event. A demonic incursion of massive scale occurred on Armageddon, and the Grey Knights responded with the full might of their chapter. They fought alongside the Space Wolves, another chapter of the Adeptus Astartes, and together they defeated the demonic forces. However, the aftermath required difficult decisions. The Space Wolves objected to the mind cleansing of the Imperial Guard regiments who had witnessed the daemons. This objection led to conflict between the two chapters, a confrontation documented in terse, official language that barely conceals the tension involved. The matter was eventually resolved, but it illustrates the burden the Grey Knights carry, the difficult choices they must make to preserve Imperial security even when those choices offend their fellow warriors. There are numerous records of small-scale operations, single squads, or even individual knights deployed to deal with localized demonic manifestations. A cult on a hive world that has successfully summoned a demon, a corrupted psyker who has become a doorway for warp entities, a chaos artifact that is radiating corrupting influence. The Grey Knights respond to these threats with the same dedication they bring to major campaigns. No demonic incursion is too small to merit their attention. Every demon banished is a victory for humanity. The patterns in these records, accumulated across millennia, reveal the scope of the demonic threat. It is constant. It is everywhere. On every world, in every sector, there are individuals and cults attempting to contact chaos, whether through ignorance or malice. The warp is always pressing against reality, seeking weaknesses, seeking entry points. And always, the Grey Knights respond. They cannot be everywhere at once, of course. The Imperium is too vast, but they prioritize threats, deploying their forces where they will have the greatest impact, and they have never faltered in this duty. I find a strange peace in these records, despite their grim subject matter. Perhaps it is the consistency of service they demonstrate. The Grey Knights have fought for 10,000 years without a single recorded instance of corruption among their battle brothers. 10,000 years. Countless knights have served and died in that span, yet not one has fallen to chaos. This perfect record stands in stark contrast to the histories of other chapters, some of which have seen entire companies or even whole chapters turn traitor. The Grey Knight's purity is absolute. It is their greatest weapon and their most important characteristic. Let your mind drift now through these ancient battles, these distant conflicts. They are like stars in the night sky, distant points of light in the darkness. You observe them from afar, safe and peaceful, simply appreciating their existence without being touched by them. The Grey Knights fight so that you may rest. They stand watch while you sleep. This is their purpose. This is their gift to humanity. The burden of secrecy extends beyond simply not speaking of battles. The Grey Knights employ protocols for managing witnesses to demonic incursions, protocols that are extensively documented in the files I have reviewed. When ordinary imperial citizens witness demons, when they see the forces of chaos made manifest, the experience often destroys them psychologically. The human mind rebels against such impossible, terrible visions. Some go mad immediately. Others are changed, corrupted, made vulnerable to further demonic influence. It is a mercy, the records argue, to remove these memories. The mind-cleansing process is conducted by specialists, often inquisitors trained in psychic techniques, sometimes with assistance from the Grey Knight's own psychers. The procedure is delicate. Too much cleansing and the individual becomes a blank slate, robbed of personality and memory beyond the specific incident. Too little, and they retain fragments that can fester and corrupt. The ideal outcome is that the witness remembers a threat occurring and being resolved, but has no specific memory of demonic involvement. They might remember that Space Marines arrived and saved them, but not which chapter. They might remember fighting enemies, but not what those enemies truly were. Sometimes, when the demonic incursion has been too widespread, when too many have witnessed too much, more extreme measures are taken. The records document these occasions with bureaucratic precision that barely masks the tragedy involved. Entire populations mind cleansed, entire regiments of the Imperial Guard subjected to memory erasure. In the most extreme cases, when corruption has spread too far, when cleansing would be insufficient, the records note simply, "Exterminatus authorized." The world was cleansed with fire, all life upon it ended, ensuring that chaos could not spread from that vector. These are terrible necessities. The Grey Knights do not make these decisions lightly. The Inquisition agonizes over them, but the mathematics are brutal and clear. Better that millions die than that billions fall to corruption. Better that one world burn than that an entire sector be consumed by chaos. The records contain the after-action reports, the justifications, the calculations of lives saved versus lives lost. I have read them all. They do not make for comforting reading, but they demonstrate the impossible choices that must be made in the defense of humanity. The Grey Knights themselves are not immune to the isolation that secrecy demands. Even among the Adeptus Astartes, among other chapters of Space Marines who might be considered peers, the Grey Knights remain apart. Other chapters often do not know they exist, or know of them only as rumor. Those chapters that have fought alongside the Grey Knights are typically mind-cleansed afterward, just as Imperial Guard regiments are. There have been exceptions, as I mentioned with the Space Wolves, where other chapters have proven resistant to such measures, or where circumstances made mind-cleansing impractical. But these are rare. This isolation is perhaps the greatest sacrifice the Grey Knights make. Space Marines in other chapters can forge bonds with the worlds they protect. They can be celebrated by the populations they save. They can see the results of their labors in thriving civilizations. The Grey Knights have none of this. They save worlds that will never know they were saved. They banish threats that the population will never remember existed. They are humanity's most effective defenders against its most terrible enemy, yet they must remain forever in shadow, forever unknown, forever isolated. The records occasionally contain personal logs from Grey Knights, heavily redacted of course, but even the fragments that remain convey a sense of this burden. "We are the Emperor's sword in the darkness," one knight wrote, "and we must be content to cut where we are directed, knowing that the hand that guides us sees more than we can." Another wrote, "The hardest battle is not against the demons, but against the loneliness of knowledge. We know truths that we can never share, and that knowledge weighs heavier than any armor." These brief glimpses of humanity within these superhuman warriors make their sacrifice more poignant. Your breathing has perhaps slowed even further. Your consciousness drifts between sleep and waking, in that peaceful space where thoughts flow like water, formless and gentle. Continue to rest. Continue to let my words be simply a soft sound in the night, a companion in the darkness. The Grey Knights maintain relationships with certain elements of the Imperium beyond the ordo malleus. They work with the Adeptus Mechanicus, for instance, particularly the forge worlds that supply their war gear. The tech priests who serve the Grey Knights are specially selected, their loyalty and purity tested as rigorously as any aspirant knight. They maintain the chapter's equipment, they forge new weapons and armor, and they ensure that the vehicles and ships of the Grey Knights remain in perfect operational condition. These tech priests take binding oaths never to speak of what they learn, while in Grey Knight service. The Grey Knights also interact with the Adeptus Ministorum, the ecclesiarchy, though this relationship is complex. The Grey Knights' chaplains, known as brothers, captain, and other ranks, rather than by the traditional title, maintain spiritual purity within the chapter. However, they do not answer to the ecclesiarchy's authority, for the Grey Knights are too ancient and too specialized to fall under that organization's jurisdiction. Still, there is mutual respect. The ecclesiarchy recognizes the Grey Knights' role in defending humanity's spiritual essence, and the Grey Knights honor the ecclesiarchy's work in maintaining faith across the imperium. There are records of Grey Knights occasionally working with other organizations when demonic threats require coordinated responses. The Death Watch, the chamber militant of the Ordo Xenos, has sometimes found its mission overlapping with the Grey Knights when Xenos species dabble in chaos. The Sisters of Battle, the Adepta Sororitas, have fought alongside Grey Knights on numerous occasions, their faith and purity making them less vulnerable to corruption than ordinary soldiers. These joint operations are carefully documented, with all participants typically undergoing some degree of memory adjustment afterward to preserve the Grey Knight's secrecy. The chapter's fleet is maintained with the same obsessive attention to purity as everything else in Grey Knight's service. Their strike cruisers are blessed and warded. Their battle barges are essentially mobile fortresses, capable of bringing tremendous firepower to bear, while also serving as command centers for major operations. The crews of these vessels are drawn from Titan's population, individuals who have spent their entire lives in service to the chapter, who understand the need for secrecy, who can be trusted never to speak of what they witness. These ship crews represent an interesting aspect of the Grey Knight's operations that is easy to overlook. The chapter cannot function entirely independently. They require mortal humans to handle many tasks that, while essential, do not require a Space Marine's capabilities. Ship navigation, maintenance of non-critical systems, food preparation, though Grey Knights require little sustenance. Record keeping, ironically enough, though far more restricted than my own work. These mortals serve the chapter faithfully, living and dying without ever leaving Titan or the ships that operate from it, their lives dedicated to supporting the Knights in their eternal war. The fortress monastery on Titan houses all of this infrastructure. It is a world unto itself, the records suggest. Training grounds that span miles, armories stocked with enough weapons to equip the entire chapter many times over, chapels and meditation chambers where knights can seek spiritual renewal, extensive medical facilities capable of treating even catastrophic injuries that would kill normal humans, vaults containing the chapter's geneseed, that precious genetic material that allows the creation of new knights, carefully preserved and monitored. Libraries, as I mentioned earlier, filled with forbidden knowledge. Forge complexes worked by tech priests and servitors. Habitation areas for the mortal servants. All of this hidden on a single moon, protected by the most advanced defensive systems in the Imperium, shrouded in secrecy and defended by warriors who have never known defeat. I find myself wondering sometimes, as I review these records in the deep hours of the night, what it would be like to walk those halls, to see the citadel with my own eyes, to witness Grey Knights at their training exercises. These wanderings are idle, of course. I will never visit Titan. My role is to organize the records, to catalog the information, to maintain the archives. It is enough. It must be enough. The Grey Knight's gene seed is, according to the most restricted records, unique in its origins. The exact source is never stated explicitly in any document I have accessed, which itself is telling. What the records do confirm is that the gene seed was created during the heresy as part of the Emperor's final preparations. It is unique among all Space Marine gene seed in its purity and stability. Where other chapters sometimes experience mutations or degradation over millennia, the Grey Knight's gene seed remains pristine. This suggests it was designed specifically for purity, engineered to resist corruption at the most fundamental genetic level. The process of implanting this gene seed into aspirants is more complex than with other chapters. The exact details are not documented in any file I have seen, protected even from high-level inquiries. But the results are clear. A Grey Knight is not just a Space Marine who happens to be a psyker. He is something more, something unique, something specifically crafted to combat demons. The chapter maintains its gene seed with obsessive care. Every fallen knight's gene seed is recovered, if at all possible. Special retrieval teams are dispatched to battlefields to ensure this precious genetic material is not lost. The records contain accounts of extraordinary efforts to recover gene seed, operations launched into dangerous environments simply to retrieve the progenoid glands from dead knights. This is partly practical, ensuring the chapter can create new warriors, but it is also spiritual. Each sample represents a link to the chapter's founding, a fragment of its heritage. To lose gene seed is to lose part of the chapter's identity. Let your mind rest now as I speak of these matters. They are technical details, archives, and genetics and procedures. Let them flow past you like a gentle stream, requiring no effort to comprehend. Your body is so relaxed. Your mind is so peaceful. Sleep draws closer with each breath. The Grey Knight's psychic abilities manifest in many ways. Every knight possesses the baseline psychic skills necessary to combat demons, the ability to project his faith as a weapon, to create zones of calm within the warp, to resist demonic influence. But beyond this, many knights develop specialized abilities. Some become powerful telepaths, able to coordinate their brothers in battle without speaking. Some develop pyrokinetic abilities, wreathing themselves in cleansing flames that burn demons but leave allies unharmed. Some gain precognitive glimpses, seeing moments into the future and adjusting tactics accordingly. The chapter's librarians represent the pinnacle of psychic development within the Grey Knights. They are to ordinary Grey Knights what Grey Knights are to ordinary psychers. A Grey Knight's librarian can strike down greater demons with pure psychic force. They can create barriers that protect entire squads from the warp's influence. They can speak the true names of demon princes, binding them and forcing them to retreat. The records of their abilities read almost like myth, except that they are supported by countless after-action reports. Yet even these powerful individuals maintain absolute humility. The records emphasize this. A Grey Knight's librarian does not see his powers as personal achievement, but as tools granted for the Emperor's purpose. Pride is corruption's first foothold. Arrogance leads to overconfidence, which leads to mistakes, which lead to death or worse. The Grey Knights have no room for pride. They serve. That is all. They are the Emperor's instruments, and they accept this role with grace. The chapter's rituals are numerous and complex. The records contain references to them, though specific details are heavily redacted. There are daily prayers that every knight must recite. There are weekly ceremonies of purification. There are monthly trials to test spiritual strength. There are annual observances of the chapter's founding, solemn ceremonies of duty and sacrifice. Before each battle, the Grey Knights perform rituals of preparation. They pray, they meditate, they recite the canticle of absolution, that ancient prayer also known as the 666 secret words, each word a prayer of protection. They inscribe temporary wards on their armor, adding to the permanent wards already present. They speak the litany of fury, preparing their minds for combat. They visualize the enemies they will face, not with fear, but with calm determination. By the time they enter battle, they are not just physically prepared, but spiritually armored, their souls encased in layers of faith and discipline, more protective than any ceramite. After each battle, assuming they survive, there are rituals of cleansing. The knights must purify themselves, washing away not just physical contamination, but spiritual taint. They confess any moments of weakness they experienced, any instant where they felt fear or doubt or anger that went beyond righteous fury. These confessions are heard by the chapter's spiritual leaders, who assess whether additional purification is needed. Sometimes a knight who performed admirably must still undergo days of prayer and meditation to cleanse a momentary spiritual vulnerability. The Grey Knights take no chances with corruption. The records contain casualty reports, as all military records must. The Grey Knights die in battle, for even they are not truly invincible. A demon prince's blade can pierce Aegis armor. A greater demon's psychic assault can overwhelm even a Grey Knight's defenses. Reality itself can become so unstable in areas of intense warp activity that even the purest warrior can be destroyed. The casualty rates are lower than one might expect, given the threats they face, but they are not zero. When a Grey Knight falls, his name is inscribed in the chapter's memorial halls on Titan. These halls contain the names of every knight who has died in service across 10,000 years. I have seen requisition forms for the materials used to maintain these halls, requests for marble and gold leaf and sacred oils. The Grey Knights honor their dead, remembering them not as failures, but as brothers who gave everything in humanity's defense. There is no shame in death in battle, only in death through corruption, and no Grey Knight has ever suffered that fate. The chapter also maintains dreadnoughts, those walking sarcophagi that house critically wounded knights. When a knight is too damaged to continue fighting in his physical form, but is too valuable to lose, he may be entombed in a dreadnought chassis. His body is broken, but his mind and soul remain intact, and he can continue serving for centuries or millennia more. The records note that Grey Knight's dreadnoughts are rare, fewer than other chapters maintain, perhaps because the wounds that kill a Grey Knight typically kill him outright, or perhaps because the selection criteria for dreadnought internment are even more stringent. These ancient warriors serve as both combatants and repositories of knowledge. A dreadnought that has served for 3,000 years has witnessed tactics and enemies that current knights have never encountered. They are living history, walking archives. Their existence comforts me in a professional sense. Knowledge is preserved. Experience is not lost. The chapter's accumulated wisdom spans the millennia, passed from generation to generation, refined and expanded with each passing century. Your breathing is so slow now, so deep, so peaceful. Each inhalation brings calm. Each exhalation releases whatever tiny tensions might remain. You are safe. You are protected. The Grey Knights stand watch over the Imperium, and the Emperor watches over all. You may rest completely. The Grey Knights' relationship with the wider Imperium is complicated by their secrecy. Most Imperial citizens do not know they exist. Those who do know of them often know only fragments, rumors, myths. There are stories sometimes of silver warriors appearing during humanity's darkest hours, fighting with supernatural skill and then vanishing. These stories are dismissed by most as legend, as wishful thinking, as the kind of tales soldiers tell to comfort themselves. The Inquisition works to maintain this ambiguity. They neither confirm nor deny the Grey Knight's existence when questioned by those without clearance. They allow the myths to persist, for myths are less dangerous than truth. A citizen who believes the Grey Knights are legend will not seek them out. A citizen who knows they are real might start asking uncomfortable questions about why such a chapter is necessary, what enemies they fight. And those questions lead toward knowledge of chaos, which leads toward vulnerability, which leads toward tragedy. There are occasions documented in the records when the truth has leaked out despite all precautions. A planetary governor who escaped mind cleansing and spoke of silver-armored warriors fighting demons. A journalist who pieced together too many coincidental reports. An Imperial Guard officer who refused memory modification and wrote a memoir containing too much truth. The Inquisition responds to such leaks with swift efficiency. The records are seized. The individuals are silenced, whether through memory adjustment or, if they prove resistant, through more permanent means. The information is contained. The secret is preserved. This may seem harsh. The records certainly document protests about the Inquisition's heavy-handed approach, but the reasoning remains consistent in the files. The knowledge that demons are real, that chaos exists and threatens humanity constantly. This knowledge destroys unprepared minds. It creates despair, and despair creates vulnerability. The argument in the documentation is that people are better protected, living in ignorance, than dying with their eyes open to horrors they cannot comprehend. The Grey Knights accept this. They understand they fight not for glory, but for duty. They save worlds that will never honor them. They protect people who will never know their names. They are the unsung heroes of humanity's 10,000-year war for survival, and they are content with this role. The records suggest the knights find meaning in this sacrifice. They serve the Emperor and humanity. That is reward enough. As I near the end of this night's recitation, as I feel my own weariness beginning to match yours, let me speak of the Grey Knight's ultimate purpose. It is not simply to fight demons, though that is their immediate mission. Based on the patterns I observe in the records, their true purpose appears to be to preserve hope. The existence of chaos could be seen as the ultimate argument for despair. If the universe contains conscious evil, if humanity is beset by enemies that seek not just to destroy, but to corrupt, if demons are real, then what hope is there? The Grey Knights are the answer to this despair. They prove that purity is possible. They demonstrate that chaos can be resisted. They show, through 10,000 years of perfect service, that humanity possesses the strength to face even the darkest horrors and prevail. Every demon they banish is proof that evil can be defeated. Every world they save is evidence that humanity deserves to survive. Every knight who lives and dies uncorrupted, is testament to the power of faith, discipline, and absolute dedication to duty. This is why the records I maintain are important, even though so few will ever read them. They document proof of humanity's resilience. They preserve evidence that the Grey Knights exist, that they serve, that they have never faltered. In some future time, perhaps long after I am gone, someone may need this proof. Someone may need to know that the Grey Knights fought for 10,000 years without corruption. Someone may need the hope that such knowledge provides. The Emperor, in his wisdom, created the Grey Knights with this in mind, or so the patterns in the documentation suggest. He foresaw the long struggle ahead, the endless war against chaos spanning millennia. He knew humanity would need warriors who could face demons without being destroyed or corrupted. He knew the Imperium would require a chapter that could be trusted absolutely, without question, without doubt. And so, working through Malcador, he created them, and in creating them, he gave humanity one of its greatest gifts, the knowledge that purity is not just an ideal, but a reality, embodied in these silver-armored warriors. Let this knowledge comfort you as you drift towards sleep. You live in an imperium that is protected, not just by countless trillions who serve in their various ways, but also by these hidden guardians, these Grey Knights who stand between humanity and the darkness. You are safer than you know. You are more protected than you realize, and you may rest peacefully, secure in the knowledge that someone stands watch while you sleep. The archives will be here tomorrow. The records will remain, carefully maintained, properly catalogued. The Grey Knights will continue their eternal vigil, fighting battles that must never be celebrated, facing enemies that must never be named, saving worlds that will never know they needed saving. And you, faithful servant, you will wake refreshed, ready for another day of service to the Imperium, another day of duty, faithfully fulfilled. But that is tomorrow. Tonight, there is only rest, only the gentle darkness of sleep, only the peaceful knowledge that you have done your duty and may now lay down your burdens. The God Emperor watches over you. His angels stand guard. The Imperium endures, and you are safe. Breathe deeply now, in and out, so slow, so peaceful. Let your mind become still, like the surface of a pond at dawn, reflecting the sky, calm and clear and undisturbed. Let your thoughts slow and soften. Let consciousness begin to fade, gently, naturally, like light fading at sunset, so gradual that you barely notice the transition from waking to sleeping. You are so very tired. You have earned this rest. You have served well. And now the Emperor grants you his blessing. Sleep. Deep, restorative, peaceful sleep. Sleep without dreams, or with only the gentlest of dreams, pleasant and vague and quickly forgotten upon waking. Sleep that heals the body and refreshes the soul. sleep that prepares you for tomorrow's service. The Grey Knights fight in the darkness. The Emperor sits upon the golden throne. The Astronomicon shines its light across the galaxy. And you precious soul, you rest safely under their protection. This is the order of things. This is how it should be. This is peace. Let go now. Release your hold on consciousness. Allow yourself to sink down into sleep's embrace. There is no resistance left in you, no tension, no worry, only peace, only rest, only the gentle descent into darkness, secure and safe and protected. The archives are silent now. My voice grows quieter, softer, fading like an echo in an empty chamber. The records are filed, the data is catalogued, the information is preserved, and you are drifting away into sleep. Sleep now, faithful servant of the Imperium. Sleep and be renewed. The Grey Knights stand watch. The Emperor protects, and you are safe. Sleep. Rest in his light. All is well. The Emperor protects. Sleep now. Peace be upon you. Citadel with my own eyes. To witness Grey Knights at their training exercises, perfecting skills already honed to inhuman sharpness. To observe the rituals they perform, the prayers they offer, the constant spiritual maintenance required to remain pure. These wanderings are idle, of course. I will never visit Titan. My role is to organize the records, to catalog the information, to maintain the archives that document the Grey Knight's existence for the benefit of those few with clearance to know. It is enough. It must be enough. The Grey Knight's gene seed is derived from the Emperor himself, according to the most restricted records I have accessed. This is rarely stated explicitly, but the implication runs through many documents. The gene seed was created during the heresy, part of the Emperor's final preparations before he ascended to the Golden Throne. It is unique among all Space Marine gene seed in its purity and stability. Where other chapters sometimes experience mutations or degradation in their gene seed over millennia, the Grey Knight's gene seed remains pristine. This is no accident. It was designed for purity, engineered to resist corruption at the most fundamental genetic level. The process of implanting this gene seed into aspirants is more complex than with other chapters. Additional organs are added beyond the standard 19 that create a Space Marine, psychic enhancers, spiritual reinforcements. The exact details are not documented in any file I have seen, protected even from high-level inquiries. But the results are clear. A Grey Knight is not just a Space Marine who happens to be a psyker. He is something more, something unique, something specifically crafted to combat demons. The chapter maintains its gene seed with obsessive care. Every fallen knight's gene seed is recovered, if at all possible. Special retrieval teams are dispatched to battlefields to ensure that this precious genetic material is not lost. The records contain accounts of extraordinary efforts to recover gene seed, operations launched into the most dangerous environments simply to retrieve the progenoid glands from dead knights. This is partly practical, ensuring the chapter can create new warriors. But it is also spiritual. Each sample of gene seed represents a link to the Emperor, a fragment of his vision made manifest. To lose gene seed is to lose part of the chapter's heritage. Let your mind rest now as I speak of these matters. They are technical details, archives and genetics and procedures. Let them flow past you like a gentle stream, requiring no effort to comprehend, simply existing as sound and rhythm. Your body is so relaxed, your mind is so peaceful. Sleep draws closer with each breath. The Grey Knight's psychic abilities manifest in many ways. Every knight possesses the baseline psychic skills necessary to combat demons, the ability to project his faith as a weapon, to create zones of calm within the warp, to resist demonic influence. But beyond this, many knights develop specialized abilities. Some become powerful telepaths, able to coordinate their brothers in battle without speaking. Some develop pyrokinetic abilities, wreathing themselves in cleansing flames that burn demons but leave human allies unharmed. Some gain precognitive glimpses, seeing moments into the future and adjusting tactics accordingly. The chapter's librarians represent the pinnacle of psychic development within the Grey Knights. They are to ordinary Grey Knights what Grey Knights are to ordinary psychers, magnifying psychic power through layers of training and discipline. A Grey Knight's librarian can strike down greater demons with pure psychic force. They can create barriers that protect entire squads from the warp's influence. They can speak the true names of demon princes, binding them and forcing them to retreat. The records of their abilities read almost like myth, except that they are supported by countless after-action reports and verified accounts. Yet even these powerful individuals maintain absolute humility. The records emphasize this. A Grey Knight's librarian does not see his powers as personal achievement, but as tools granted to him for the Emperor's purpose. Pride is corruption's first foothold. Arrogance leads to overconfidence, which leads to mistakes, which lead to death, or worse. The Grey Knights have no room for pride in their lives. They serve. That is all. They are the Emperor's instruments, no more, no less. And they accept this role with grace. The chapter's rituals are numerous and complex. The records contain references to them, though the specific details are heavily redacted. There are daily prayers that every knight must recite. There are weekly ceremonies of purification. There are monthly trials to test spiritual strength. There are annual celebrations of the chapter's founding. Though celebration may be too festive a word, for what the records describe as solemn observances of duty and sacrifice. Before each battle, the Grey Knights perform rituals of preparation. They pray, they meditate, they recite the 166 canticles of absolution. Each canticle, a prayer of protection against specific forms of corruption. They inscribe temporary wards on their armor, adding to the permanent wards already present. They speak the litany of fury, preparing their minds for combat. They visualize the enemies they will face, not with fear, but with calm determination. By the time they enter battle, they are not just physically prepared, but spiritually armored, their souls encased in layers of faith and discipline that are more protective than any ceramide. After each battle, assuming they survive, there are rituals of cleansing. The knights must purify themselves, washing away not just physical contamination, but spiritual taint. They confess any moments of weakness they experienced in battle, any instant where they felt fear or doubt or anger that went beyond righteous fury. These confessions are heard by the chapter's chaplains, who assess whether additional purification is needed. Sometimes, a knight who performed admirably in combat must still undergo days of prayer and meditation to cleanse a momentary spiritual vulnerability. The Grey Knights take no chances with corruption. The records contain casualty reports, as all military records must. The Grey Knights die in battle, for even they are not truly invincible. A demon prince's blade can pierce Aegis armor. A greater demon's psychic assault can overwhelm even a Grey Knight's defenses. Reality itself can become so unstable in areas of intense warp activity that even the purest warrior can be destroyed. The casualty rates are lower than one might expect, given the threats they face, but they are not zero. When a Grey Knight falls, his name is inscribed in the chapter's memorial halls on Titan. These halls contain the names of every knight who has died in service across 10,000 years. I have seen requisition forms for the materials used to maintain these halls, requests for marble and gold leaf and sacred oils. The Grey Knights honor their dead, remembering them not as failures, but as brothers who gave everything in humanity's defense. There is no shame in death in battle, only in death through corruption, and no Grey Knight has ever suffered that fate. The chapter also maintains dreadnoughts, those walking sarcophagi that house critically wounded knights. When a knight is too damaged to continue fighting in his physical form, but is too valuable to lose, he may be entombed in a dreadnought chassis. His body is broken, but his mind and soul remain intact, and he can continue serving the chapter for centuries or even millennia more. The records note that Grey Knight's dreadnoughts are rare, fewer than other chapters maintain, perhaps because the wounds that kill a Grey Knight typically kill him outright. Or perhaps because the selection criteria for dreadnought internment are even more stringent than with other chapters. These ancient warriors serve as both combatants and repositories of knowledge. A dreadnought that has served for 3,000 years has witnessed tactics and strategies and enemies that current knights have never encountered. They are living history, walking archives, though I must note with some professional jealousy that they are archives I cannot actually access for my cataloguing work. Still, their existence comforts me. Knowledge is preserved. Experience is not lost. The chapter's accumulated wisdom spans the millennia, passed from generation to generation, refined and expanded with each passing century. Your breathing is so slow now, so deep, so peaceful. Each inhalation brings calm. Each exhalation releases whatever tiny tensions might remain. You are safe. You are protected. The Grey Knights stand watch over the Imperium, and the Emperor watches over all. You may rest completely. The Grey Knights' relationship with the wider Imperium is complicated by their secrecy. Most Imperial citizens do not know they exist. Those who do know of them often know only fragments, rumors, myths. There are stories sometimes of silver warriors appearing during humanity's darkest hours, fighting with supernatural skill, and then vanishing as mysteriously as they arrived. These stories are dismissed by most as legend, as wishful thinking, as the kind of tales that soldiers tell to comfort themselves in dangerous circumstances. The Inquisition works to maintain this ambiguity. They neither confirm nor deny the Grey Knight's existence when questioned by those without clearance. They allow the myths to persist, for myths are less dangerous than truth. A citizen who believes the Grey Knights are legend will not seek them out. A citizen who knows they are real might start asking uncomfortable questions about why such a chapter is necessary, what enemies they fight, what threats require such specialized warriors. And those questions lead toward knowledge of chaos, which leads toward vulnerability to chaos, which leads toward tragedy. There are occasions, documented in the records, when the truth has leaked out despite all precautions. A planetary governor who escaped mind cleansing and spoke of silver-armored warriors fighting demons. A journalist who pieced together too many coincidental reports of mysterious space marines appearing during unexplained disasters. An Imperial Guard officer who refused memory modification and wrote a memoir that contained too much truth. The Inquisition responds to such leaks with swift efficiency. The records are seized. The individuals are silenced, whether through memory adjustment or, if they prove resistant, through more permanent means. The information is contained. The secret is preserved. This may seem harsh. The records certainly document protests from various parties about the Inquisition's heavy-handed approach, but the mathematics remain brutal. The knowledge that demons are real that chaos exists and threatens humanity constantly, that the warp contains conscious malevolence. This knowledge destroys unprepared minds. It creates despair, and despair is chaos's gateway. Better the people live in ignorance and safety than die with their eyes open to horrors they cannot comprehend. The Grey Knights accept this. They understand that they fight not for glory, but for duty. They save worlds that will never honor them. They protect people who will never know their names. They are the unsung heroes of humanity's 10,000-year war for survival, and they are content with this role. The records suggest, in their sparse way, that the knights find meaning in this sacrifice. They serve the Emperor and humanity. That is reward enough. As I near the end of this night's recitation, as I feel my own weariness beginning to match yours, let me speak of the Grey Knight's ultimate purpose. It is not simply to fight demons, though that is their immediate mission. Their true purpose is to preserve hope. The existence of chaos is the ultimate argument for despair. If the universe contains conscious evil, if humanity is beset by enemies that seek not just to destroy, but to torture and corrupt, if demons are real and the warp is filled with malevolence, then what hope is there? The Grey Knights are the answer to this despair. They prove that purity is possible. They demonstrate that chaos can be resisted. They show, through 10,000 years of perfect service, that humanity possesses the strength to face even the darkest horrors and prevail. Every demon they banish is proof that evil can be defeated. Every world they save is evidence that humanity deserves to survive. Every knight who lives and dies uncorrupted is testament to the power of faith, discipline, and absolute dedication to duty. This is why the records I maintain are important, even though so few will ever read them. They document proof of humanity's resilience. They preserve evidence that the Grey Knights exist, that they serve, that they have never faltered. In some future time, perhaps long after I am gone, perhaps in an age I cannot imagine, someone may need this proof. Someone may need to know that the Grey Knights fought for 10,000 years without corruption. Someone may need the hope that such knowledge provides. The Emperor created the Grey Knights with this in mind. He foresaw the long struggle ahead, the endless war against chaos that would span millennia. He knew humanity would need warriors who could face demons without being destroyed or corrupted. He knew the Imperium would require a chapter that could be trusted absolutely, without question, without doubt. And so he created them, and in creating them, he gave humanity one of its greatest gifts: the knowledge that purity is not just an ideal, but a reality, embodied in these silver-armored warriors who have served so faithfully for so long. Let this knowledge comfort you as you drift towards sleep. You live in an imperium that is protected, not just by the countless trillions of soldiers and workers and administrators who serve in their various ways, but also by these hidden guardians, these grey knights who stand between humanity and the darkness. You are safer than you know. You are more protected than you realize, and you may rest peacefully, secure in the knowledge that someone stands watch while you sleep. The archives will be here tomorrow. The records will remain, carefully maintained, properly catalogued, available for those with clearance to review. The Grey Knights will continue their eternal vigil, fighting battles that must never be celebrated, facing enemies that must never be named, saving worlds that will never know they needed saving. And you, faithful servant, you will wake refreshed, ready for another day of service to the Imperium, another day of duty faithfully fulfilled. But that is tomorrow. Tonight, there is only rest, only the gentle darkness of sleep, only the peaceful knowledge that you have done your duty and may now lay down your burdens. The God Emperor watches over you. His angels stand guard. The Imperium endures, and you are safe. Breathe deeply now, in and out, so slow, so peaceful. Let your mind become still, like the surface of a pond at dawn, reflecting the sky, calm and clear and undisturbed. Let your thoughts slow and soften. Let consciousness begin to fade, gently, naturally, like light fading at sunset, so gradual that you barely notice the transition from waking to sleeping. You are so very tired. You have earned this rest. You have served well. And now the Emperor grants you his blessing. Sleep. Deep, restorative, peaceful sleep. Sleep without dreams, or with only the gentlest of dreams, pleasant and vague and quickly forgotten upon waking. Sleep that heals the body and refreshes the soul. Sleep that prepares you for tomorrow's service. The Grey Knights fight in the darkness. The Emperor sits upon the golden throne. The Astronomicon shines its light across the galaxy. And you precious soul, you rest safely under their protection. This is the order of things. This is how it should be. This is peace. Let go now. Release your hold on consciousness. Allow yourself to sink down into sleep's embrace. There is no resistance left in you, no tension, no worry, only peace, only rest, only the gentle descent into darkness, secure and safe and protected. The archives are silent now. My voice grows quieter, softer, fading like an echo in an empty chamber. The records are filed. The data is catalogued. The information is preserved. And you are drifting away into sleep. Sleep now, faithful servant of the Imperium. Sleep and be renewed. The Grey Knights stand watch. The Emperor protects, and you are safe. Sleep. Rest in his light. All is well. The Emperor protects. Sleep now. Peace be upon you.